Welcome to the NBA Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Nic Rohloff. Very loaded show on tap for all you at home today. Warriors' pursuit of Lauri Markkanen. There's a little bit of update there that we got to talk about. Darius Garland, is he going to request a trade? Did he request a trade? Brian Windhorst has a note on that. And then Russell Westbrook going to the Denver Nuggets. We'll talk about the fit there and what happened earlier today in the NBA. But first, we need some work to do here because I went back at some of the metrics and I looked at the amount of likes we got on a month-to-month basis. And through the month or the year of 2024, we're basically halfway through. March, April, January, and February are our top 4 months. And then look at where we are at here late in July. Not even close. So do me a favor, hit that thumbs up icon, and let's climb closer and closer to get back into the other months here of January, February, March, and April. All right, let's jump into the Lauri Markkanen stuff. But first, it has to actually deal with the Golden State Warriors and Brandin Podziemski because there are reports and rumors out there that the Golden State Warriors, who are the number one team linked to Lauri Markkanen in a trade, are unwilling to offer second-year guard Brandin Podziemski to the Jazz for Lauri Markkanen. That report's coming in from Anthony Slater. We've also seen some other reports kind of back that up as well. And my initial reaction to this is, what are we doing here? I don't really understand the thought process if you're Golden State. If you seriously want to acquire Lauri Markkanen, who has averaged 25 and 23 points in back-to-back seasons in Utah respectively, and also was an all-star as well a couple seasons ago, you're going to have to trade good young pieces to get a player of Markkanen's caliber, especially when he's only making $18 million this season. I get you're going to have to pay him long-term after that, but for $18 million for 1 year of Lauri Markkanen, that's arguably the best contract in all of the NBA. It might even be better than Jalen Brunson's contract. And sure, Podziemski is a good young player who in his first year out of Santa Clara was great and played pivotal minutes for Golden State, 26 minutes a game, averaged 9 points a game, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shot efficiently from the field. Like, sure, he has a lot of good tools and traits, and you like what you see in terms of his upside long-term to be the lead guard for Golden State potentially after Steph Curry retires. But here's the thing that I got an issue with. Yes, Podziemski is a good young player, but you have to send him to get Lauri Markkanen if you are serious about getting Steph Curry help. Think about this. Steph Curry is approaching the end of his career. He's turning 36. He's only got maybe 3-4 seasons left at best of being a number one option on a championship caliber team. You just lost Klay Thompson in free agency. Are you really going to let Steph Curry rot the last seasons of his career in Golden State? That would be a disservice. Curry has done everything you could have possibly asked him to do for you when you selected him in the top 10 of the NBA draft 14 or 16 years ago. And you have to pay your respects by getting him help to end his career. Podziemski is a fine young player. This is not me hating on Brandin Podziemski. This is me saying, would you rather sacrifice Podziemski 7 years from now, or would you rather get Steph Curry help for the next 3 to 4 seasons? And I'm not guaranteeing you Lauri Markkanen as your second option as Steph Curry wins you a title. That's not even close to the case. But you at least need to make the effort to show Curry you are committed to him in winning and trying to put a roster around him that can compete so he's not missing the playoffs and drafting in the lottery for the next 4 seasons as he ends his career. To me, you have to send Podziemski. I get you don't want to send all the young players of multiple first-round picks, Kuminga and Pods, but if they prefer Pods over Kuminga, keep Kuminga, trade Podziemski plus picks, and let's get the show on the road to get Steph Curry some help. Let me know your thoughts on the matter. You obviously know my thoughts, but would you trade Brandin Podziemski for Lauri Markkanen? Type T if you would trade Pods. Type K if you're like Golden State, at least to this point, and you're keeping them. All right, let's segue into a different trade rumor, Darius Garland, because the reports are that Darius Garland, and this came out about 2 months ago, by the way, that Garland would request a trade if Donovan Mitchell extended with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, Donovan Mitchell extended, and Darius Garland is yet to request a trade. So we remember Shams Charania came out to report that said, breaking news, sources, Rich Paul has informed me and the Cleveland Cavaliers that they will request a trade if Donovan Mitchell signs a long-term extension with the Cavs. And they got the commitment from D-Mitch, and here we are. What day is it? Let's look down to watch here. July 18th. Oh, yeah. And guess what? Darius Garland still hasn't requested a trade. So was that all bullshit, or is that something that could still happen? Well, Brian Windhorst actually chimed in on the matter and said that Darius Garland has never actually asked a trade, but he has seriously considered doing so. And to me, it's just like, well, why would you put out that report and Rich Paul send that to Shams Charania if you weren't actually serious about it? Like, that feels like a pretty weird bluff, no? Right? And Garland's a fine young player who, after being a top 5 pick out of Vanderbilt, has been pretty good for them. Like, I feel like he's given you a good return on investment for the Cavaliers. Undersized guard who hasn't been able to play more than 70 games a season, but he played 69 2 years ago, 68 the year prior. He's been someone who's averaged 20 points per game. He's a really good facilitator, and to me, it's interesting to see his numbers take a little bit of a dip ever since Donovan Mitchell came aboard, right? Mitchell just finished his second season in Cleveland. He averaged 21 in his first year with D-Mitch, but then that goes down to 18. His assist numbers have went down by almost a full 1 assist a game in back-to-back years. The efficiency has stayed the same. But either way, like, Garland's good, but I just think they need to switch it up. Like, maybe you guys disagree or not, and it kind of feels ludicrous to me to run it back, right? Like, Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, it's cool, but what's the ceiling on that team? The ceiling on the Cleveland Cavaliers roster right now is a second-round exit. Even if Evan Mobley took another step, which they're kind of banking on him to do at least to this point, I don't see a pathway for the Cavs to be better than the Boston Celtics, be better than the New York Knicks, the new-look Philadelphia 76ers. And if that is the case, then at best, at absolute best, you were the 4th best team in the Eastern Conference. And that doesn't even include a resurgence from the Milwaukee Bucks, the reigning Eastern Conference Finals runners-up in the Indiana Pacers, and maybe bounce-back Heat, the Orlando Magic who continue to get better. Like, I just don't see a way that the Cavaliers can reach the goals they want to reach and owe their promise and get that promise kept to Donovan Mitchell that they gave him to have him sign long-term by keeping Darius Garland. I actually think it's in the best interest of Cleveland to trade Garland and kind of retool the roster in a different way around Donovan Mitchell. So Garland trade request or not, I think Cleveland needs to seriously consider trading the former top 5 pick. I don't know if they want to go the wing route, maybe try to grab a Brandon Ingram, get better size and scoring next to Donovan Mitchell, and kind of get a good, better connecting piece with Ingram, Mobley, and Allen in the front court. Like, I don't know what the route is, but we'll have to see if they switch things up because I believe they need to. And make sure you are subscribed, though, because we're going to have the latest NBA news and rumors on a daily basis. And if Garland does get traded, we'll be here to break it down for you and see what happens next. So make sure you hit that sub button. I'm Nic Rohloff. We have a fun team here at Chat Sports. Subscribe to the channel. All right, let's round out the show with some actual news that happened today in the association. Breaking from Woj, the Los Angeles Clippers are sending Russell Westbrook a second-round pick swap and cash to the Utah Jazz and a sign-and-trade agreement for guard Chris Dunn. We knew Chris Dunn was already going to L.A. It was reported on the first day of free agency on July 1st, or was it the second day? I don't remember if it started on the 30th or the 1st at this point. But we knew Dunn was going to L.A. It was just all about finding a trade partner for Westbrook to get out so they can give Dunn his contract, which, by the way, 3 years, $17 million, which you have to give a sign-and-trade. If you sign someone, it has to be 3 years. If you're wondering why Dunn got 3, that's why. But the real story here is this. Westbrook and the Jazz, who then he got traded to, expected to agree on a contract buyout, clearing him the way to eventually join the Denver Nuggets after clearing waivers. It was always reported that Westbrook was going to go to the Denver Nuggets, it felt like, after he opted in. It was just a matter of how he was going to get there. Sign and trade didn't happen in the way of going him straight to Denver, but he goes to Utah, gets bought out, and then is going to sign with the Nuggets. And I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of out on Russell Westbrook. Like, I know he's only going to be the backup point guard to Jamal Murray for them, and they traded Reggie Jackson during the draft, so they needed a true backup point guard. But I just don't know if Russ is really someone that could impact winning at a high level anymore. It's unfortunate, but he still can't shoot the basketball, and he really doesn't have the speed and athleticism to get by you and finish at the rim that much. He's a competitor. He tries on defense. I give him credit, but I just don't like the fit offensively because he can't shoot the basketball. Let me know your thoughts on the matter, though. Is Russ cooking in Denver? Does Russ help? Well, he once was trying to cook in Denver. Shout out to the Denver Broncos and Russell Westbrook, or Russell Wilson. But does Russ help the Nuggets contend again? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think the Nuggets may be in trouble, man. And it kind of alluded to it with my not really willingness to commit to Westbrook. But, I don't think he's that good. The Nuggets lost Bruce Brown 2 years ago after winning the championship. They lost Kentavious Caldwell-Pope this offseason. Their roster is getting worse, in my opinion, from year to year. They also used the top 25 pick to draft Deron Holmes, and he tore his Achilles during Summer League. So they don't have a backup center again. The Nuggets are in a bad way, and with the Western Conference only getting better, OKC is getting better, the T-Wolves are getting better, the Mavericks, these other teams are getting better. I think the Nuggets are getting put on the back burner here where they're going to be the 4th, 5th team in the Western Conference. It's just a tough luck for Denver, and I'm not really sold on them. They're going to have to rely on big jumps from Christian Brown in year 3, Peyton Watson, a year 2 Julian Strawther. If they don't get those jumps that they're expecting to get, they're going to be first-round exits, man. They might be not in a good spot here long term with Jokic and Jamal Murray. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Give me a follow on Twitter because we're talking NBA hoops on a daily basis. Have any questions? Have any disagreements with today's video? My DMs are open. At Nic_Rohloff is the handle. Go give me a follow, shoot me a DM, and I'll see you with a video tomorrow. Peace out.